He scored some of your favorite shows and movies, and now Dominic Lewis joins us in the studio.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Ooh. Is this trippy for you? Slightly?
Trippy?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Score
It's
here?
meant to be. Meant to be kind of time traveling and trippy.
Ooh. Welcome, guys, to Mini Spotlight. Ooh. Look, it's like we're in the show. Hello. Welcome to Mini Spotlight, where we highlight awesome stars in music, TV, and film. I'm your host, Amy Cassandra Martinez, and I'm joined by the amazingly talented scorer of this, Dominic Lewis. Hi.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for coming here, and thank you, honestly, for just creating things like this. This is awesome. I know we were talking before we got started, but guys, there is something about scores that is just amazing. So now we're going to get started with where this all started for you.
Okay. You mean in general, not this piece of music?
Correct, yeah.
Well, both my parents are musicians, so I kind of got the bug very early. I started cello when I was 3. So my dad's a cellist, my mum's a singer, and I just, always wanted to be like dad. Well, and mum kind of, but wanted to be like dad. And so I took up the cello at 3, and then, just loved music. At first I wanted to be an instrumentalist, and then my dad was like, you don't want to do that, there's no money in it. So then I started writing music, songs when I was kind of 10, 11, and then, in bands, and that wasn't enough. I wanted to make them bigger and have like string arrangements and horns and stuff. And so I found film music. I went to school with Rupert Gregson-Williams' stepdaughter, met Rupert, he kind of took me under his wing. My dad started doing sessions in London on movies, and it just kind of snowballed, and now I'm sitting here talking about stuff that I've done. So yeah, there's so much more in between that, but that's how it all got started.
Yeah. Was there a certain movie then, like a certain thing that you saw that you're like, yes, I want to be a composer?
Kind of. I mean, I think it was more of a subconscious thing that grew and grew, and then eventually when Dad started playing on sessions in London, and I wanted to start writing, and then it really kind of clicked. But then all those years of watching movies and going, I know all these scores, I love all these scores. And if I had to pick one, I guess, E.T. was really the spark for me that was like, I have to do this.
Okay, so 2 things. One, I played violin starting in 5th grade. So when you said that you were 3 when you started playing the cello, that's insane. That's awesome.
I mean, it wasn't full size. It was a little one. But yeah.
Little baby cello.
Little baby cello.
But kids are just so freaking good at that. Like, picking up an instrument at a younger age is much easier than when you're older.
Oh, completely.
Oh, yeah. And then with E.T., my cat's name is Spielberg. So.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's cool.
I feel like
I love
we
that.
connected on that. So just to give everyone a heads up of everything you've scored, I mean, it's insane. It's a lot. But what are some of your favorite things you've scored?
Of my stuff? Well, last year I did Peter Rabbit, which I'm very proud of. Before that, I got to work with Jodie Foster on Money Monster, which was amazing. That was super quick. I had to come in and I had 3.5 weeks. With the previous guy, didn't they weren't happy with it. So I came in and it was 3.5 weeks. So to create what I did in 3.5 weeks, I'm proud. I'm really proud of that one. And I've worked with other composers on their movies on a bunch of stuff that is more well known, like Big Hero 6, Wreck-It Ralph, Captain America. But that's as like an additional composer, we call them, the people who help out with
Well, yeah, but that's still a big deal. Like, that's
yeah.
Well, yeah, Captain America, whatever. Marvel.
No, it's good, but it's always nice to progress to, when it's music by Dominic Lewis, as opposed to, you have to wait till after, Mr. Clooney's Driver, and then all the musicians are at the end of the credits. So it's nice to be up there in the main role.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
Okay, so for those of us that we don't know exactly how that process is like, what is the process like? Let's say, okay, so for Peter Rabbit, how was that like?
Peter Rabbit was different, actually, because Will Gluck, the director, he'd worked with one composer before, and that hadn't gone very well. So he wasn't a fan of score, but knew he needed score for this movie because it was different to anything else he'd done. So it started off kind of like I was imitating songs, and then that wasn't really enough because it wasn't cinematic. So the process was kind of luring him in with the song basis, and then smacking a big old orchestra on top of it. And mixing it all up like that, and eventually we got to a point where he was like, "Oh, this is cool." And then at the premiere in London, he actually admitted to me that he'd put too many songs in the film, and that he, next time round he's going to put more score in because I've made him trust score now. So that was great.
Wow!
To convert someone who hates score, so much so that he put a joke in Friends with Benefits about how he hates film music so much.
What in the world?
Yeah.
I think. Because I'm thinking a lot of people, when they watch a movie, they'll listen to the score, but it's it's good when you just like feel it. You're not listening out for it, if that makes sense.
Totally.
And I think one of the first movies that first made me realize, like, oh my gosh, people do this for a living and they're so insanely talented was The Holiday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jack Black, yeah.
Yeah. Is it anything like that?
Not really. I mean, sort of, in the fact that, you use samples to score stuff. But I love Jack Black. But it's, there's a lot more stress and there's a lot more behind the scenes than that movie necessarily portrays. But it's great because, it gave awareness to people that, somebody does do that job.
Yeah.
So in that respect, it's cool.
Now, what is the weirdest place, like, you've physically been in where you've gotten an idea for a little tune?
Oh, that's a good question. The weirdest place.
Yeah.
I get many ideas in the bathroom, but...
All right.
No, the weirdest place... Where's the weirdest place? Probably, like, on the streets hearing some kind of sound. It never rains here, but when it does, you get those really cool, like, by the big... what are they called? Just where all the water drains down on the curb, on the sidewalk.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it all flows down, and sometimes it makes some super cool noises. I'm such a geek. But
that's so cool.
Sometimes it makes some cool noises, and I'm like, oh, get the iPhone out, record it. So movies like Money Monster and things like that are more electronic. Yeah, that's I get weird inspiration from noises. So when I did Money Monster, I took loads of noises from the stock market and computers and stuff like that, and then just mess with them, and it created my soundscape for the movie.
Guys, are you listening to this? That's so cool.
It's super geeky, but I'm glad you think it's cool.
What is something that you would like to score, or like a style of a movie or a show that you would love to score that you haven't yet?
I've been asked that question before, and my answer always was something fantastical, a la sort of Harry Potter-esque, magic. And I just did Goosebumps, right? And I just did Goosebumps too. So I sort of have done that now. So I don't know what I would like to score that I haven't done. Probably a Second World War movie. I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
My dad and I are obsessed. We used to watch them all the time. So something like that, maybe. Is my new answer to that question.
Good. Is this the first time you said that new answer?
Yeah.
Thank you. You heard that here first, guys. Thank you. So where do you see yourself in 5 years? If you could give yourself like a time capsule message for yourself in 5 years, what would you say?
Wow. If you're not at the top of your game, what have you been doing? You're not working hard enough. You need to be an A-lister. You need to be being hired by all the big directors. Spielberg, Zemeckis, all of them need to be turning to you. No, I mean, that's the goal.
Yeah.
I'd like to be there in 5 years. I'm only 33, so that's probably asking a lot.
No.
But I don't think there should ever be, I want to be here, because the sky's the limit. I think, you always need to be growing and working on stuff and improving. And so just, don't be in the same place as you were right now. Be better.
Yeah, I like that. I think that applies to everyone as well. Heck, a year from now, you want to be somewhere else.
Right. You want to be doing new stuff. You want to be, creating new things and not relying on what you've done before. So that would probably be my answer. Just keep changing, keep innovating, keep getting better.
And that's great advice as well. So I love that. Thank you so much for talking to us. Thank you for sharing
having me.
such wonderful music. I'm so excited. We're definitely all going to be following you on social media to see what you're up to next. So where can everyone find you?
On Instagram at Dom Lewis Music is where I post most of my stuff, and
Okay,
that's where to go, I
Oh
think.
my gosh. I'm so excited. I want to see what you score next. I'm so excited. And you guys can find me on all social media at Amy Cassandra MTZ. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz, see you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.